nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no better one. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Susceptible now before the moment flies.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It is Sunday evening. I know we're a little later than what we normally do, but I have some things to take care of today. Glad that you guys are here in the building. We've got 18 here so far. Make sure you click that like button. We already know because Oprah is coming next.
Oprah coming next.
Oh yeah.
Once I establish this as a place of truth, oh yeah.
Make sure you guys click that like button. I like you. Make sure that you like us too. Tonight's topic is a good one. When it comes to the passport bro movement, many people in the United States, as well as other areas of the world, in the Western world, have a complaint about the fact that we are relocating. And for many of us, not all, many of us are relocating because we are looking for more traditional lives, more traditional wives. And yet at the same time, nobody is asking the question, and we're going to ask it today. Are passport bros traditional? In other words, based off of what we're looking for when it comes to traditional women, are we willing to be the traditional men that women have always loved in the past? Just like we want those type of traditional women that represent women of the past. We don't want to have modern day women. We are against the feminist movement in the sense of that's not the type of woman we want to marry or mate, even though there's nothing wrong with being a feminist. I'll say that again for the feminists. There's nothing wrong with being a feminist, but at the end of the day, when it comes to dealing with modern women, if we don't want to deal with modern women, do traditional women in other countries have to deal with modern men? In other words, the passport bros, if we are modern men. So the question that I have for you today, guys, are you a traditional man? Were you a provider, protector, problem solver of the household and more? Or are you Mr. 50-50, the modern man, where I need help with the income and I need for her to do this and she needs to come alongside to do that? The question is, which man are you going to be? Because when you go to these other countries and you're expecting a traditional woman, guess what she's expecting from you? A traditional man. So we're going to be talking about that here today on Andre and Andrea's Love Crossing Borders. Glad that you guys made it in. The cologne of the evening is Versace Eros Flame. The Versace Eros Flame. Excellent version of Versace Eros, which is a cologne that is timeless. Is one of those colognes that you definitely want to have in your collection for a lifetime. The other bottle is a lighter blue, but the Flame, of course, is the crimson red. And so you definitely want to get a chance to get a hold of this. It's not expensive, but it is really good. You know how I have always say there are some colognes that are made for sleep and some colognes that are made for sexiness when you're going to bed. This one's definitely made for both. So you can wear this one if you're just going to sleep, and you can wear this one if you are going out to the club, partying, out and about. It's one of those year-round scents. But at the same time, if you get ready to get it on like Al Green, or like Marvin Gaye, let's get it on, you can wear this Versace Flame Eros. Shout out to you guys. Or it's Versace Eros Flame. That's the cologne that I'm wearing right now. That's the cologne of the evening. Shout out to my boy Trey. Zay, who I got a chance to hang out with yesterday. Young brother. He's only 29 years old, but he is a true passport bro. He's doing some excellent things when it comes to preparing himself to relocate to another country. So Austin Holland is not the only one. There's some other ones such as Chapapa TV. He's a young brother out there, as well as a passport brother that's been living in Brazil, as well as Dominican Republic for the past couple of years. So I just want to give a shout out to all those young dudes that have got your passports and you're actually out there doing some amazing things. But while you're out there, you're going to come across some traditional women that are expecting a traditional man. Yeah, we're going to watch a video in regards to that. They think that one of the reasons why there are not as many passport bros in the continent of Africa, all 54 countries, is because most passport bros are modern men by nature now, and we are not traditional men. So let's see what they have to say. Are they right? Are they wrong? We'll see that in a split second. And then we also got another drop that'll be coming through today. A new drink drop that'll be coming through. So we're going to be enjoying that today. So shout out to you guys in regards to that. Let's get ready for these shout outs. That's what we're going to be doing. Shout out for you guys for being here today. I appreciate you more than you realize. The first person here is I Am KDC in the building. Shout out to you, all you guys that are here.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful, give yourselves a round of applause.
Give
You're
yourselves
so
a round of applause.
And while you're in the clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate.
Yes.
Sexual Chocolate. They play so fine, don't you agree?
Don't you agree? You guys deserve the shout outs. You guys deserve the shout out. Shout out to you guys being here this evening. Once again, we got a great topic. Are passport bros, blue big gentlemen, passport cartel, the enlightened men, all of you guys that use your passports on a regular basis that are building new lives and new locations, when you start looking for women, you ready to settle down after the party mode is over, are you a traditional dude? Even if you got more than one girlfriend, or even if you decide to have more than one wife, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that if you are looking for traditional women, you have to analyze yourself and see, am I a traditional man? Am I the type of man that a woman will really sit back and say, you know what? I can see myself with him just like you can see yourself with her. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to watch a video in regards to this. Shout out to them Canadian boys being in the building already.
Where I was from. He said, oh, Canada.
Black Nubian is in the building. So representing them Canadian boys as well as other brothers that are here. Shout out to you guys being here. And I saw you, EMB. I saw that asking me for the Spanish word of the day. I don't have a word today. I've been so busy. Bro, I went out hanging out with my man Zay last night. We had a great time, just having great food, hanging out with some good dudes and enjoying ourselves. Then by the time I got home, relaxed for a little bit, and then had to go right into one consultation to the next consultation. So I've really been just basically busy all the day long today. So I haven't had a chance to even do my Pinterest studying today. Shout out to my man LJ in the building, the Southern Vegan representing like he always does. Hit the wrong one. Here we go. The Southern Vegan is in the building. He said, learning Spanish, bro. See, you guys are even ahead of me today. You guys are ahead of me. Estudiando español. Yeah, you guys are ahead of me. I'm not sad. I'm not mad. But I do know, hey. And I want to make sure I got that new drop for you guys today as well, that new drink break. Yeah, I see you, EMB. There we go. See, I caught you. Chopper man, Big Brother in the building. Big Brother in life. Yes, sir. He say, Dre Day, what's up, fam? Hey, listen, this is a great Sunday, man. Happy Mother's Day to all you guys, mothers that are still alive, to those of us that have lost our mothers. Happy Mother's Day to your female co-workers that are mothers. A happy Single Moms Day. Yeah, there's a lot of single moms out there. So happy Single Moms Day, as well as happy Mother's Day to all the women out there that have done some phenomenal things as far as raising your sons and daughters to be great people. Shout out to the mothers out there around the world. And them Cleveland boys in the building. My man for Profit Store is here right now. He said them Cleveland boys in the building. What up, Dre? And chat lives matters. Chat lives matter. E-Man is in the building as well. Shout out to you being here. We got 30 people in the building. Click that like button. That like button invites other individuals into the live stream. We've got an invader. We've got an invader, ladies and gentlemen, invading. But we're going to give him a shout out. My man, Sean D. Upshaw, right-hand man, the guru himself. Sean D is in the building. Shout out to you, Sean D. Appreciate you, brother. What's up, big bro? What's up to you, big bro? Nothing much going on here, brother. We're just talking about tonight's topic. Once again, tonight's topic is about when passport bros or blue book gentlemen or passport kings go to other countries, and we're talking about eventually getting with these traditional nice women. Are we traditional men or are we modern men? Are we 50-50 dudes? Or do we believe, like in Kevin Samuel said, in hypergamy and tradition? And we are the 100% providers, 100% protectors of the family, and 100% problem solvers of the family. Or has things changed and have passport bros not come to the reality of who we actually are? Are we modern men? And we're just crying about something in the States that where we're supposed to be. In other words, some of you guys, you need to stay stuck in the States. I'm going to say this again. Yeah. You need to have your happy tail right where you belong. I know you visit other countries. Visit other countries. Visit all the countries you want. But I'm going to let you know now. Some of you guys, you need 50-50. You ain't got the mindset to believe in yourself enough that you could pay 100 towards yourself, at least long 100 towards somebody else. It's the inflation, Dre. Inflation everywhere, bro. Inflation is around the world. Well, I got the money to pay for everything, but she's unappreciative. Well, why you with her then? You see what I'm saying? We got an excuse for everything. Everything we got an excuse coming down the turnpike. Like me and my man Sean D. Upshaw used to say, we used to always talk about how you need to bankrupt that bullshit. Your excuses are the cool side of the pillow. They feel so good, but they're not doing you any good. So at the end of the day, guys, we have to ask ourselves, if we are going out here looking for these supportive, submissive, encouraging, cooperative women around the world, and we are looking for women that's giving us the soup or the sandwich, the sex and the silence, if this is what you're looking for, then what are you offering her in regards to being a traditional man? And we're going to watch a video by a few young ladies that are of African descent. And they're going to let you guys know nothing wrong with come looking for us traditional women. They letting you know in Africa, come on through, passport bros. We got your back. However, they got plans. If you want them to be traditional, then you need to be traditional too. Shout out to my man being in the building. Reese, you change your name, Marcus? Shout out to you, brother, being in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I've been doing pretty good. Voice is doing great. So after the throat surgery, my voice is doing a lot better, and I can tell the difference. I didn't think I would tell the difference, but I can really, really tell the difference in my voice. And I don't have to put forth so much energy to project my voice. I don't have to put, it's just naturally what it is. Now it's kind of funny how my voice just I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I could tell the difference. I could really tell the difference. Shout out to you guys once again. And no EMB, I don't have the word of the day. Is Marquise is in the building. Shout out to you from the Shot Time boys.
And you say Shot City?
Oh yeah.
Shot City. Shot City. I'm coming home again.
Shout out to you, brother, for being here. Shout out to you, Chicago boys. He said, Hustle Lamar is in the building. Man, I ain't see you in a minute, brother. Shout out to you being here, man. All right. I'm glad that you've been here. I'm glad that you're here. I see. He said, I'll give you one. I know you're going to give me one. Okay, let's see. Mancanto. which would be snack in español. Me canto. Okay, I'm glad you gave me that one. Macanto. Andre just brought me some Macanto, some Mother's Day cake, some cake from the Mother's Day. They had a cake for the ladies and got her mom some nice exercise outfits and running shoes for the gym and got her a nice cake and got all the ladies in her family, got all of them gigantic bouquets of flower and everything. So it was really cool today. So yeah, it was really good. Chalupe is in the building. Shout out to you, brother, being here. Madre. Yeah, do you know what? That is the Spanish word of the day, madre. Mothers. Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. Good call, brother. Let me see if I can get this up. Oh, there we go. He said it's not the only Spanish, it's only Colombia. Okay. He says it's also Colombia, only in Colombia. Okay, cool. Let me scroll down. We got Timothy in the building. Shout out to you, Timothy. Avengers Assemble. Yes, sir. And we got my man Black Empowerment. We're about to get started in about 2 minutes with the video, and we're gonna be doing a reaction to this video. Like I said, it is a video full of African women that's telling you guys from the States, come on down. There are some good women here on the continent of Africa. You got 54 countries to choose from. However, they're letting you know they are looking for traditional men, and they are not hesitant to tell you guys, come down here as a traditional man. But so the question begs to be asked, are most of us traditional men? Or are we truly modern men? I want to do a survey real quick. In the comment section, if you are a traditional man, if you are a provider, protector, problem solver, you have no problem with doing that. You have no problem with hypergamy. You have no problem with not only pulling the purse strings because you got the wallet in hand. You have no problem when your woman says we need to take care of this, that, and this. Economically, you on top of that. You have no problem with focusing on economically for the future as well as for the family and well as for today. You have no problem with being the prayer warrior for the family. You have no problem with being the one that makes sure that the lights stay on in the house as well as the fire and the flame keep going for the family. You have no problem with being a problem solver. When your wife or your kids come to you, Dad, I got a question for you. Husband, I've got a question for you. You have no problem with being in the position of a problem solver. Not all men are problem solvers, gentlemen. I'm asking you personally. You personally, put a 1 in the comment section if this is who you are. Are you a protector? Do you have the ability to not only say, I can not only physically protect a family, but also protect my wife from herself, protect my kids from themselves by way of the decisions that are made in the house? Babe, last year, remember when you went left last year, babe? This year, we're going to go right. Can you protect your wife from decisions that she may have forgotten that she made last year that weren't best for her? And so you remembered and you were able to help her make it right. Can you protect her from herself? Can you let her know, babe, I noticed that you get an attitude every time we talk about this particular topic. Why is that? Let's talk about it. Do you have those abilities? That's a traditional man. Remember, come on, guys, leave it to Beaver. Leave it to Beaver. Joan would be at home answering as many questions that she could that Beav and Wally had. Gee, Wally, well, wait till Dad gets home. He'll have the answer. So they wait till Dad gets home from working. And what did Dad have time to do? Watch football? Nope. Did he get a chance to kick his feet up? No. Joan was in the kitchen. Ward, the Beav has been fucking up again. Go talk to him. I'm about to whoop his little ass. Ward Cleaver, go in there and talk to your son. On the show Leave It to Beaver. For all you young heads, y'all don't know nothing about this. All of us old heads, we've watched this show over and over again as kids. Ward will go in the room. Beef. Yes, Dad? What the fuck going on, boy? What are you thinking? Your mama in there mad in the kitchen? Wally? Hey, Dad, I ain't had nothing to do with it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was the beef. It was the beef. Do you have that ability that when you come into the home, or can your family depend on you to have the right answers? I can say for a lot of us dudes, no. A lot of us dudes, no. Or are you let's be real, or are you a modern man? Are you a dude, you was raised by a single mom like me? Are you a dude, B, that most of your life you've been 50-50, you never provided 100% for a family? I can't say that. You don't believe in hypergamy. You believe that she always, what's she gonna do with her money? If I'm paying all the bill, what's she gonna do? What's she doing with hers? If you got one of those guys that think like that, if you one of those guys that think that, man, she need to get a degree. I need me a chick that's a doctor, attorney. If you need your woman to be balling, nothing wrong with those things, guys. I want to say this again. I'm not shaming. There's nothing wrong with those things, but you might be more of a modern man. You don't believe in hypergamy. You don't believe in spoiling your woman. Like, I get her some gifts like Mother's Day, but like spoiling, like a Birkin bag. Oh, hell no. You might be more traditional. I mean, you might be more of a modern man. Nothing wrong with that. So if you find, and I'm not saying that if you're a traditional man, you're buying Birkin bags. A traditional man already knows we're not buying Birkin bags. We're buying stocks and investments, and we're buying property with that money. We're not going to spend $10,000 on a bag when we could put that on a down payment on a piece of property for you that you can manage. And I'm going to teach you how to manage something other than your purse collection, girl. That's a traditional man. A modern man would buy the Birkin bag and she ain't put nothing into it. All she had to do was spread her legs. Also, as a modern man, all you need is beauty and a big booty. That's modern man. Most modern men, all they need is some good sex, quick sex, pay-for-play sex. That's what it is. Most modern men have no problem with not having to be in a traditional man's role, because he's not looking for a traditional woman. He's just looking for a woman by night. He's just looking for a private dancer, dancing for money. Do what she wants you to do. A private dancer. That's what you're looking for. See what I'm saying? That's all you're looking for. So there's no use of you saying I'm a traditional dude, because you're not looking for a traditional woman. Can we be real with that? So the question I ask you guys who are not traditionally looking to get married or in a stable relationship, or you out there just having your fun, or you've been married before and you say, I ain't never getting married again, forget that, or I ain't never be in a stable relationship, forget that, I'm going to always have me a bunch of women, I'm going to always have me a roster. If you're like that, which is nothing wrong with that, I'm saying it in all sincerity, I'm just showing the difference between the two. You might want to ask yourself, am I really a traditional dude, or am I a modern dude? I don't want to have a wife again. I don't want to have a solid girlfriend again. I want girlfriends, plural. And I might even in traditional atmospheres around the world, there are many traditional atmospheres where the man had more than one wife. But yet he still had to be the problem solver, provider, and protector, even if he had more than one wife. I know one brother that I knew, man, he had the funniest, boy, you want to hear some funny stories, man? This brother, he said, man, I blew up in Africa. He said, because he said, I'm from Chicago. And he said, how I blew up in Africa, I was selling burglar alarms to schools around Africa. He said, and I got major contracts. He said, man, I had 3 wives. He said, I built a compound. He was the one that taught me that in many parts of Africa, people don't work for you and then go home. No, they work for you and they still live on your land. So you got to have a place for your employees to live, almost like old school ranches. You don't send them away. The old school ranch, you had a ranch house for the hands, for the guys that work for you. So it was, it still is in many parts of Africa. You don't send people away to go home after work hours. They actually go to the private house that you built for your servants or the people that work for you. So he said, I got 3 wives. I got all these people that work for me. He said, I got 1 monkey. He said, it ain't nothing like having monkeys just tearing up your office. He said, my wives, he said, I had a problem. He said, all my wives loved each other more than they loved me. He said, I had a big problem. He said, I was providing everything. He said, but they like me, but they ain't love me. They made love to me. He said, but the way that they talk to each other and communicate with each other and laughed and giggled with each other and went shopping with each other and hung out with each other and enjoyed each other's company. He said, they never act like that with me. So all you guys that say, I want me 2 or 3 wives, okay, you better hope both of them don't become the best of friends. All 3 of them don't become best of friends like my boy's situation. He said it was buddies, man. I would walk in the room and everybody get quiet, like, here he come. Girl, did you smell his breath yesterday? I smelled it. So, yeah. So I'm going to look at this survey. Are you a traditional man? Put 1 in the comment section. Or have you noticed that you're more of a modern man? Put 2 in the section. Like I said, it's not one is better than the other, but we have to admit that there are 2 types of men that are using their passports. One is a traditional man, whether you're looking for a relationship or not, and one is a modern man, whether you're looking for relationships or not. So put a 1 in the comment section or a 2. I'm about to take a look. I'm about to scroll down past everything else. Shout out to all you guys that are here. Okay, we got some 2s. Shout out to my man in the building. We got a couple 2s. We got a couple 1s. So everybody want to get quiet tonight. We got only 3 responses out of 65 people. Really? If I'd have told you what do you like, big booty this or big booty that, everybody would have put something in the comment section. If I'd have said you tired of modern women, everybody would put something in the comment section. Now y'all confused. Now I got 4 people that put something in the comment section. I don't know what I am. I'm kind of a little bit traditional. I'm a little, what you, Donnie Marie? Part-time rock and roll, sometime country. What? Put a poll in the comment section. See, I wish I knew how to do the poll. I don't know if I have a moderator with access to be able to do the poll. I should have put a poll up. Should have put a poll. Let me see if I could do a poll real quick. Let me see if I could do a poll real quick. Good suggestion. Let me go into the studio. And let me go into this video. That's a good idea. Let me put a poll up. But let me see that if it allows me to, since I've already, I know it allows me to go into customize and show moderation, add daily key. No. Community settings? No, that's not it. That's not it either. And I don't have time to go in and see how to put together a poll. And I'm in customization. I'm into the settings already. Let me see, promotion. Nope, that's not it. See, I've never done the poll, so I wouldn't know how to put one together. I thought I was in customization, but it's not in the customization. And let me go here. It is not showing in the customization, gentlemen. Let me go into settings. Nope. 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 It's not letting me do it. But for right now, we'll just do it the easy way. Just put a 1 or a 2 in the comment section for right now. And then after this live stream, I got some emails I need to send out. But after this live stream, I'm going to watch a video on how to do YouTube polls. Thanks, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you guys for your patience. He said before marriage, I would have picked traditional. Now, after divorce, I got to pick, hey, I'm a modern man. And there's nothing wrong with either way. It's just that I want us to be clear on who we are. So when we get the type of women that are coming our way, we don't get salty or upset, or we don't look at what they're looking for in these new countries as weird or odd. Because I noticed that a lot of dudes that consider themselves traditional. I'll give you a perfect example. Shout out to my man Anton Daniels, right? Anton was on Black Man's Travel. Shout out to my man Aaron, Black Man's Travel, right? And Aaron was describing dowry in the Middle East and in other countries, right? You know, where you pay a dowry because out of appreciation, out of loving appreciation for what the family had done when it came to raising such a good daughter. The dowry could be monetary, it could be animals, it could be land, it could be a home, right? Anton Daniels was like, man, I can't do it. I can't see it. I can't do it. It just ain't gonna happen. But then you have to ask yourself, even though Anton is in a 20-year successful marriage, come from a family of successful marriages, is Anton mindset traditional or is it more modern now? Because in America, we are not a dowry country. We don't give a gift to the family due to the fact that we're getting married. Actually, we expect the daughter's father. You know, traditionally in the United States, the daughter's father pays somewhat or pays for the wedding, right? That's what we think in the United States. So it's the exact opposite. So sometimes our definition of tradition is completely different. So let's put it like this. Based off of Anton's answer, he was traditional for America. As long as Anton Daniels and men that think like him, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, live the traditional methods that work well in the United States, their mindset won't transfer to other countries for the most part. And if you're like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But you might just be built for the United States and your mindset is not built for other countries. Now, you have guys that are the modern men. The modern dudes like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you coming up 50-50. Listen, we're going to be splitting these bills. So the modern man may not work in the United States the way women are complaining, but in some instances, the modern man may work outside the United States. It depends on the scenario, on the situation. So don't think that when I'm saying modern and traditional that I'm coming at one side or coming at another side. I'm just saying, guys, just taking a synopsis or examination of yourself. When you go to these other countries and they're expecting certain traditional things, are you ready for when they ask that question? Are you ready for that? He said, I'm traditionally modern. Right. He said, traditional almost seems like a fairy tale nowadays. Now, once again, for us travelers, is it fairy tale in the States or globally? Remember this, guys. As passport bros, we have the ability to not judge the scenario by one country. I go on panels and then I'll leave a panel early. You know why? Because I see it shifting. Most of the people in the panel are Americans. They think like Americans. They behave like Americans, and nothing wrong with that. But they have no concept of the narrative or the topic in which they're speaking of on a global basis. So I'll leave because I understand this is an American topic. Andre, you ain't got no business being here. So I'll respectfully bow out of this particular panel. Not because they're not talking about what I'm talking about, but because I have to respect that Americans, for the most part, have never been anywhere. So I have to respect that they don't understand anything that I'm saying. I'm speaking a foreign language, in other words. So it is when it comes to us passport bros. When I sit in travelers, when we sit back and say tradition is over, the Black community is over, love is over, is that in the States that you've seen that, or had you saw that globally? We will sit up and I'll give you another example. We will sit back and complain about feminism. Is that really globally like it is in the States? Because these women in Africa are saying this, there is a hint of feminism, but it's not like in the United States. They're more traditional women. Here in South America, we notice there is a hint of feminism, a little sprinkle of feminism, but we know for real, most women that we've run across in Colombia, in Brazil, in Peru are not feminists. You cannot tell me most of the women that you run across in Brazil are feminists. Most of the women that you've come across in Colombia are feminists. Hell no. And I know some educated sisters here in Colombia, and they aren't feminists like they are in the States. There's a sprinkle of it, but their version is completely different. Why? Because they come from countries that are still immersed in majority traditional behaviors. Yes, feminism in the States is about competition. Down here in South America, it's still about equal rights. We just want to be able to open up businesses the way that men do. We want to be protected by law to not get raped, like men are protected by law if something happens to them. We just want that's how feminism here it is in South America. We just want equality. We don't want you guys' jobs. We realize that a man is a man. We want our man masculine. That's the other thing about feminism in South America. In many African countries, they still expect men to be masculine. There is no, you are not here in South America. Women talking about there is a part of all of us that's feminine and masculine. That bullshit. And by the way, guess what I came across the other day, guys, on TikTok? Afro-Colombian women listening to Dr. Umar. Yeah, that fool. Afro-Colombian women listen to Dr. Umar tell brothers, you are stupid, you are an embarrassment, you're putting down our Black queens, blah, blah, blah. And these sisters were sitting up there like, yeah. And I'm looking at these sisters like, it's a lot of brothers in the States that y'all could be listening to. But Umar, sisters, now you need to be listening to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Okay, cool. You need to be listening to some of the other positive Black men out here. Cool. But Mr. can't build a school and got 2 Black women pregnant on child support and ain't put a ring on one of their finger. Umar, the one who the fat black girl threw her purse on the stage just a month ago. Umar, girl, you better, hey, Afro-Colombian women, don't try to take our sound bites and think that they real, baby. It's just to make money. It's a hustle. You don't recognize the Black hustle. We know the Black hustle when we see it. You don't know our pastors, ma'ams. You don't know our pastors. You think that these dudes preaching truth to you, ladies. No, Afro-Colombian women. They're trying to use you the exact same way they use the sisters in the States. In the pews. I mean, these sisters was eating it up. Yeah, that's right. That's right. These Black men with white women, because they say the same thing here. They say the same thing here. Every time a soccer player, a Black soccer player blows up, he gets with a white girl. a machista. The ones that look like Andrea, the white girl. Okay. Okay.
I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay.
Y'all keep on listening to Umar, ladies. And us brothers gonna keep on laughing at you. Shout out to my man David in the building. Shout out to you being here. He say, Andre, I'm those things, but I don't see any women while in the U.S. Good point. For work to do that for adapting to my surroundings. Let me read that again. He said, but I don't see any women while in the USA for work to do that for adopting my surroundings. I didn't get that, Dave. I didn't get that part. Shout out to my man Will in the building. My man Chill Will. Will the Thrill says this. He said, the Cleveland boys at it again. He said, what's good, big bro? He said, Andre and Chat family, because chat lives matter. He says, I'm traveling back to the United States from Colombia with tears. Like most of us, shedding those tears, got to go back to the States. For those of you who have never traveled outside the United States, and I mean this is serious. And I don't mean Mexico, and I don't mean Canada, and I don't mean a dang cruise, and I love all those areas. I'm talking about you really got a real stamp, real tattoo on your passport. You will never understand the woe and sadness that a person goes through when they got to go back to the United States. Getting back on that is hell. I built my business. If it wasn't for America, you wouldn't be around. I didn't say that. We love America. But in comparison to what we just experienced in other countries, as far as the care, the camaraderie, the peace, the femininity, the wonderment and beauty that we see in other countries, if you've never been to another country, you ain't gonna understand what I'm talking about. What am I trying to say? Men, women, get your passports and go somewhere. I don't have time. You don't have time not to. I'm going to say this again. You don't have time not to take your life somewhere. There is no guarantee that your tomorrow is going to be here. Your bills will be here tomorrow. Taxes will be here tomorrow. But there is no guarantee that you will be here tomorrow. You need to sit back, schedule an expiration date for this year to take your first trip out of the country, and then understand why men, and I can't say women, but men feel so torn between their love for the United States and the beauty of the enjoyment that they just, and the peace that they just had when they went to other countries. Yes, United States, when it comes to business, can't nobody touch us. Military, can't nobody touch us. Okay, outside of that, what next? We can't say politics. We dang sure can't say women. Don't act like we want to say food. We can't say we best with schools. Okay, we best with the medical. No, we ain't best with medical. Best water. No, we ain't in the top 20 for water. Peace. We don't make the top 20 peace or happiest countries in the world. Well, okay, where are we? United States good for making money, and our military to protect us and our money. Other than that, other than artillery, everybody in the United States can walk around with some artillery. Other than that, come on, guys, put something in the comment section that help your brother out. Is there something else about the United States that I miss that makes them in the top 20, top 10? Other than military, artillery, and making money? Nothing. I can't think of any. Then when we leave as men and women and we find peace and we find friendship and we find true emotional intelligence among people, and we find really good neighbors that we don't have to worry about stealing our Amazon packages, and we find really good friends that even if you don't know the language, somehow, some way, you're able to do something as far as hanging out with that person and getting to know the new country. You find healthier foods, better medical. You find that 96% of the world does not think like the little 4% of us in the United States. So guys, correct me. Other than making money, and making money could be making money from business, your job, investments, whatever it may be. Other than making money and the strength of our military and the fact that we all can be armed, we don't lead in the least divorces. We don't. Colombia has a 9% divorce rate, while America's walk around at 51%. And if you are already up to your third marriage, you have a 95% chance of losing that marriage if you're at your third marriage. 30% of all men that are not the fathers are paying child support. Help me. I love America, but y'all got to help me, America. Come on now. You can't just sit back for years after years after years and say, I love my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Okay, why? Because this is where my mom and Paul was. Okay, in the Bible, you had several people that left. Abraham left. Abraham's dad left the one land. After Abraham got older, he left. Then Lot left. Then Abraham had Isaac and Ishmael. Both of those sons left to a new land. Isaac had Jacob. Jacob left for a new land. So to sit back and act like because my Paul was on his land, so my people on this land, we sharecropped on this. We built America to the land that is supposed to be that it is today. That's true. Americans' ingenuity, bruh, it's countries that blow America out the water for ingenuity. Medellin already won the award for the most innovative city in the world. America ain't won that award in years. Come on, guys, help me out, America. Other than armory, other than making money, and other than military, what we got? In the most prisons, we got the most prisoners. We got almost 2 million prisoners, which is actually by law, slave trade. Once you become incarcerated, most guys don't know this. By law, by what is it? Article 13 or Amendment 13. By law, you officially become a slave again. Once incarcerated in the United States, that's never changed. It's free labor in the United States. You get locked up, watch you work. And they might give you some pennies, sprinkle you some pennies here and there per month, your little wages. But it's free labor. That's law. I'm just asking, man. Shout out to my man, Will. My point is, guys, go somewhere and then understand what we're talking about. Life is beautiful. Take advantage of it. That's my point. He said, push that like button, support Black Man Media. Traditional man here. Solo leader. Yes, sir. We want to be traditional man. We know that it comes with, I'm traditional. Just in case you guys are wondering if I'm traditional or if I'm modern, I'm a traditional mother. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't need 50-50. I'll take care of this. I used to be modern. No, I'm lying to myself. I'm traditional. I am traditional. Andrea make her few dollars. Guess where it goes? Into investments. I never forget this, man. I never understood it until I became a traditional man. There was a pastor, the prison pastor in Milan, Michigan, brother, and he said that his wife was really nice. She come into the service in the prison and talk to the guys every once in a while. Really nice couple. And I remember I was 24, 25, and he said that I'm the leader of my house, and I take my wife's paycheck from her every time she gets paid. And you can hear the brothers in the back. What? A woman let you take a whole paycheck? What the? And I had never heard of that before. The woman gives the husband the whole paycheck. This is before I start studying and understanding the difference between traditional and modern. And he said, we take her paycheck and we put it into our investment accounts. So her paycheck is going to take care of us in our wonder years. I mean, not wonder years, in our older years. My paycheck takes care of everything else. He say, we both have access to, he say, so she can't go in and just take the money. I can't go in and just take the money. We both have to be able to sign off on the money before anything comes out of those investments. And every single paycheck that she gets, that she makes, if she makes $60,000 a year, $60,000 is going towards investments. Do you know how much money this couple probably has by now? Do you know how much money this company, I mean, this couple, if the wife was just putting $40,000 a year of her money into just investment accounts for the last 20 years, all you guys that are into investments, you already know that's a lot of money stacked up over 20 years. And all he had to do was pay the bill. That's what we do in this house. Man, when I heard that, I was like, oh, yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, yeah. Just in case you wonder what Andre does with her little paycheck. Oh, yeah. I don't care if it's in Colombian pesos. It's going into investments, bro. Yeah. It's going into investments. I can relate to that traditional man. Shout out to that. My man Timothy in the building. Timothy says, fragrance now. He said, rave now. Just got it. A very subtle. Mixed. He said, I mixed it with Club Day Nuit. Intense, man. Yes, sir. He said, and very complimented. He said, very strong compliment. I smell pineapple. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see if I got that rave now sitting here right now. Yep. Yes, I do. The rave now pineapple cologne is rave on that side. You see rave. Then you turn around and it says now on Amazon, maybe like 25, 30 bucks. I've been wearing this for a couple years, man. I still, goodness gracious, that pineapple, bro. And it is no mistaken. It is not like it's pretending like it wants to be pineapple. It is pineapple. Oh, yeah, that's good. So let's go on to the next one. Shout out to you, Timothy. I'm glad that you got it. My man Will said, he said, I will miss the treatment of the second class of a second class citizen. Yes. You go to other countries and they treat you like you're a first class citizen. Then you got to go back to the United States and you just man, please. Official Kobe in the building. Shout out to you, Kobe. He said, U.S. is a shell of what it used to be 20 years ago. This is true. This is true. And a lot of us don't want to admit that. Let me see if I can pronounce your name for you, brother. This is a good one. I'll just say Joan or John. Janonio or Janoniu. Hope I pronounced it correctly, brother. Blame it on my head, not my heart. Glad to see you here.
What a beautiful,
lovely that you're here.
You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
With the $5 sticker. Appreciate you, brother. Super chat.
Mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate. Sexual Chocolate. They play so fine, don't you agree?
He said, shout out to my man Jordan. Okay, cool. Jordan says this. He's like, I got 99 problems, but the U.S. ain't one. That's a good t-shirt. Ain't one of them. From LaFleur. That's right down the street. Shout out to LaFleur area, man. That's right down the street. So I know where you are, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. My man Tevin King says, he said, I'm late for the show. He said, I didn't get the notification. You know how YouTube does sometimes, guys. Salute to everyone in the chat. Remember, it's Mother's Day. So show your mother, if she's still around, your mother some love. Just as how you'll spend a whole check on your wife, your girl, your pay for play, your side chick, your scammer chick. Spend some money on mom if you got that opportunity, guys. Let's get ready to get started with this video. Shout out to you, Tevin. And pull this video up for us. And remember what I was mentioning. These are African women letting us know, Passport Bros, ain't nothing wrong with coming here, but we're letting you know we're looking for traditional men. And if you're not a traditional man, you might want to do a double take. Now, the first lady we're going to listen to is going to sound a little bit aggressive. Take it with a grain of salt, but she's making a good point.
Before a man goes to take the daughter to marry a woman, he has to pay the family a dowry, an appreciation. And dowry can go from money to cows and goats to even building the girl's family a house. Yes, and it's all to show appreciation to the family of the girl, that thank you so much for raising such a beautiful and wonderful woman who's going to be the mother of my kids. So the system works differently. The United States, after living here for almost 10 years, I've realized that here, men just take for free. And I know this might be triggering and or insulting some people, but it's the truth. Men in the United States are used to taking things for free, especially from women. They expect, well, I'm just gonna go date her, have sex with her here and there, and use her, and then we'll just be in a relationship. It does not work like that in Africa.
Let's pause right there for a split second. She said men in the United States take for free. And I understand that she was trying to make a different point. She was doing comparison. We ain't never took nothing. It was given to us freely. Now, you got some pervs out there that do perverted stuff. We're talking about the average everyday American man. We ain't out there doing perv stuff. Y'all giving up that coochie for free. Free 99. My man Ronald says, he said, I don't know. He said, what men she talking about, but men ain't getting nothing for free. Absolutely correct. Those expensive dates, see, Miss Africa, where you talking about building houses and dowry, that money that we would spend on dowry, once again, that money we would spend on dowry, they want on dates, Miss Africa. They want $400 dates, Miss Africa. I ain't about to sit up here and spend $400 on a date and then give your dad $20,000 for some cows and some sheep. Oh, Miss Africa, you don't want to talk about how they coochie blew out. How they got they backs is bent over like old racehorses, like an old mule with that arch in it. And you ever see one of them old horses? They got the arch that go down in their back. Like, yeah, you got women in the States, they only 26 years old or 36 years old or 46 years old, and they got an arch in their back from their back being blew out so much. I'm supposed to pay $20,000 for that? See, in Africa, at least y'all tried to keep some form of innocence about you. Some of y'all. So I'm supposed to pay all these expensive dates. I'm supposed to buy Birkin bags, and at the same time give your daddy $20,000. But Miss Africa, you didn't tell the fact that she was giving that coochie away to Riri, Ray Ray, Nook Nook, Keith them absolutely free, but then come to me and expect me to pay. But Keith them didn't even have to pay for a condom. I'm gonna say that again. You expect me to pay, Miss Africa, for American women when Keith didn't even have to pay for a condom. Keith put a baby in her. Anytime you see a dude just bust up in a chick and she get pregnant and he ain't a no good dude, not most men aren't like that. But we talking about Pookies in them. That means Pookie didn't even spring come out with the money for a condom, but you expect me to come out with the money as a stepdad. What? Miss Africa, you ain't talking about that part. You're not talking about that part, Miss Africa. So yes, in Africa, there is a dowry, but in Africa also, there's an expectation of the quality of woman that man is getting. And if he's not getting that, if there's a lie that's found, that man could come after the father for that dowry. I gave you $20,000. This woman not a virgin, not even in her booty. Even her booty ain't a virgin. No, I gave you $20,000 and she give firehead. Wait a minute. She ain't supposed to be giving firehead at 22. We need to go to court about this, kind sir. I appreciate the firehead, but she's supposed to be innocent. She just giving me sloppy. She giving me the good. I paid $20,000 dowry for a woman that didn't know how to give the good yet. So she don't want to talk about that. In other words, there's a certain quality and characteristics of the women or certain women in Africa, not all women, because we know not all women are the same, but there are certain characteristics that husband says, if I'm paying this dowry towards the father as a gift, the gift of the quality of wife that he's given me must match the investment that I'm getting towards the family, towards the father of appreciation. How many of us, okay, let's be real. How many of us will pay a dowry for most of the women in the United States? Put 0 in the comment if you would pay a dowry. Put 1 if you would pay a dowry. I'm going to say this again. Put 0 if you would not pay a dowry for most of the women in the United States. Put 1 in the comment section if you would pay a dowry for some of the women in the United States. I'm 0. I'm about to put a 0 in the comment now. I ain't paying nothing for most of the women in the United States. That is not happening. That is not happening. That's what the women don't want to talk about. The fact that these women have subjected their bodies to such punishment. Man, these women treat their bodies like their bodies is the NFL draft. Everybody could come. They treat their bodies like the NFL combine. Everybody could come. Everybody running up and down and in and out of her. And then you expect me to pay a dowry? These men in the United States think that they get everything free. No, boo, don't you ever think that men in the United States have ever, for the most part, got some coochie for free. There's always a price to pay, whether it be her attitude, whether it be that big mouth that she comes along with, whether it be her nosy family or her nosy friends all off in our business, whether it be economically we come out of our pockets to make sure paying college debts off. She got college debts. She get with me. Now I got college debts and I didn't even go to her school. Just because we married. We want to talk about that. You're marrying, and talking about the United States where we have a 51% divorce rate, meaning I get with her, I pay the father a $20,000 dowry, and I got a 51% chance that she gonna leave me? I want this to sink in, guys. You have a 51% chance that your woman gonna leave you, and you just gave the dad $20,000. Who wants to take that investment in the stock market? How many of us would invest in a stock that we know that has a 51% chance of crashing within 5 years? Oh, you ain't go. You sure? That's what I'm saying about. It's nothing wrong with her comparing the United States expectations to African expectations, but she's not talking about the same type of women that are in Africa compared to what we have been tolerating and dealing with in the United States. That mouthiness, that attitude, that masculinity. You can't say nothing as a man, or you toxic masculinity. Nobody uses that term except the United States. They invent stuff in the States and act as if the world talks like that. Women in Peru don't talk like that. Women in Colombia have a way of saying he's machista or traditional men, but they don't say toxic masculinity. They embrace masculinity. In Brazil, they embrace they want men to be masculine. They just don't want them to be bullies as men. They don't want them to be dogmatic as men, but they do want their men to be masculine. So don't compare what we do as American men to women, to men in Africa, because men in Africa, for the most part, might be getting, I said the word might be getting a better quality of woman compared to what we know, what we traditionally get in the United States. Let's get back to the video.
It is worse. You cannot take someone's daughter for free like that. You have to impress her and the family, most importantly. And in some cultures, like my own, if you have not proven yourself as a man that you have the resources to take care of someone's daughter, guess what? Even the family has the right to take you to court, to police, and say, we brought this man, he wants to take our daughter for free. Or if you've already taken the daughter without paying the family a dowry, they can say, he stole our daughter from us without any appreciation. And guess who is going to win the case? The family of the girl. So to any American man or any man worldwide who wants to marry a woman in Africa, use your common sense. You have to be very, very strong in your masculinity to know that I do not expect my wife to work.
Let's pause it right there. We've got two things that she talked about, but I want you guys to realize. She said that we do not expect, African men do not expect their women to work. They can work, but they don't expect them to. But the other thing that came to my mind, guys, she said that she's been in the United States for about 10 years, a little less than 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. Notice this, what I didn't notice. You may not have noticed this either. I didn't see a ring on her finger. Been in the United States, I think she said either 4 years or 10 years. I didn't see a ring on that finger. How many of you think that she's been intimate in the United States in that 10 years that she's been there in the States? In other words, did Pookie get that coochie while she talking? Has Pookie gotten that coochie since she been in the States, let's say 4 years, or ain't nobody got it? She's keeping it innocent like she would back in Africa. If she's keeping it pure than the driven snow like she would probably back in Africa? Or is she in the United States and once that camera go off, her boyfriend is breaking her back in no matter what her mama and daddy and cousin and them saying? Ain't no ring nowhere. But I bet you she wasn't a virgin all them 4 years being in the United States or the 10 years that she's been in the States. Come on now, Ronald. Am I lying? Am I lying, Twan? He said she has been poisoned by the United States. Passport bros, don't bring them to America. Don't bring them there. Because they will see one side. She's learned the fine art from the Shaolin Temple of the women in the United States, the fine art of selective hearing and seeing what you want to see and not seeing the full picture. Because that's what a lot of our women, not all, because there's some really great women in the States. I would not take that away from them. But I'm talking about these problematic ones. Don't trip. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these women learn the fine art of being of not being accountable for anything, and at the same time, selective hearing. And that's what she's doing. How dare this woman sit back and criticize men for going to to other countries and saying, you guys might not be able to handle being tradition in our continent because we expect this and that. Nothing wrong with that, sister. We understand where you're coming from. Thanks for the heads up. But we did notice that you said that you've been in the States for a few years, right? Are you saving that body and those big lips and them big eyes and that big forehead for your American king? Or have somebody been busting on that forehead while you was using them lips to suck him dry and giving him all the anal and coochie that he wanted? Just a question, sisters. You can't have it both ways. You can't sit up there, wave around your hands with no ring, but yet try to tell us about being traditional. And you living in the United States, and we know how women in the United States love to get that coochie up. We come from a country that's a hookup culture. I'm going to say that again. It's sad, but sex and sexiness is a part of the fabric of American culture. You gonna get some coochie as a man in the United States, just like she gonna get a man. You gonna get you a woman. You gonna get them overnight, and she gonna get that man overnight. So you gonna get that. But at the end of the day, dude, don't sit back and try to criticize men who want to go to other countries and find traditional wives. When you go to the United States, you become one of them, and now the arch in your back is like an old horse too. Now you got the old horse, the mule arch in your back, and you got the audacity to talk about going to another country and watch your back in regards to how you can't carry yourself traditionally. Well, we can say this to you. You are definitely a traditional woman in the United States, the new one. Anybody can knock it up. Anybody can beat it up, in other words. The Patreon link is at the top of the chat. For real, for real. He said, a lot of African women come to the States and act like American women. They worship it. One of the things that I could say that we're naive of as Americans, being America, and I'm not what I'm about to say is not egotistical. I love the United States, but I can't stand a person that worship our country. I can't stand that. People talk about our country like it's the next best thing to heaven, and we know that it's not. We know that we work hard for what we acquire. We know we put in the hours, the efforts, the strain and the stress to make the United States what it has been and what it will continue to be. So when other countries make it seem like you could just land in America and all loveliness will unfold, I can't stand when people worship our country like that. I can't stand U.S. worshipers. I can't stand that stuff. Some of you guys may sit back and say, oh, it is what it is. For me, I can't stand it. When people sit up there and they don't get their visa and they cry like, oh my God, I get my visa. Oh my God, I can't believe what the You got a whole country that's a developed country. I'm not saying people that are in destroyed locations around the world and they need a place to stay. I'm with that. But if you're already in a good country and you cry because you don't get to the United States, you people are worshiping the United States too hard, too much. It ain't that serious to us U.S. citizens. We realize the amount of work that it takes to be a U.S. citizen. And we hate when people don't appreciate, in other words, people in other countries don't appreciate and see our hard work to make America, America. It's not easy for any of us. I can't stand American worshipers. And they will go to America and change who they are and think that they better than the people back in their homeland. Colombians do it. Brazilians do it. Africans do it. Asians do it. All y'all get to the United States and y'all think y'all better than the people back in y'all own home country because you work more hours and you make more money, but you're not a better person. You become more of a jerk or in an egotistical person. You become more of a stressed out person. You become more of a liar and conniver and a scammer than you ever would have been in your own home country. Yes, you're making a lot of money. You balling. But what did it take for you to give up as far as your culture, your tradition, your how you carried yourself, your intellect, your compassion for human beings? You gave all that up so you could come to America and make the U.S. dollar. And you wonder why don't nobody F with you once you get to the United States. I can't get no man to marry me. Hell no. But if you were still back in Asia, you'd have been married by now. If you were still back in Africa, you would have been married by now. Now we just toss you up in the air as American men. So don't get mad when you come to America, men that toss up women. Do not get mad, because that's what we do. We gonna toss women up in the States. We are a hookup culture. You want to come? Bring your ass. Bring your ass. But when we toss you up, slap it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no. Don't say oh no. Let's get back to the video. We do. We toss them up like salads. You can't come to our country and be expecting us to be traditional. We come from a toss-up country. We come from baseball, apple pies, and tossing up women. And women in our country like to be tossed up. Let's be real. How many times have we said, how many times have we heard a female tell her girlfriend, girl, he was soft, or he was weak, or he was a punk. I want to give him the coochie. But he was acting all scared. How many times have we heard that? We don't hear American women say, I'm glad that he respected me as a woman and didn't ask me for my coochie on the first night. He's such a gentleman. No, they don't say that in our country. What? They don't say that in our country. Our country is, hi, my name is Andre. Hi, my name is Keisha. Keisha, I would like to toss you up in the air in the next 15 minutes. Why, Andre? It only takes an elevator ride to toss me up in the air. Well, come on, let's get on this elevator. And I'll toss Keisha up in the elevator on the way down. True story. On the way down the elevator. That's the United States for men and women. Women will go on social media and say and talk as if sex is gross, knowing that they love it just as much as we do. They love it just as much as we do. American women would be pissed if this was not a hookup country. I'm going to say that again. You want to piss American women off? Don't give them no sex. Go ahead. Don't give them no sex. Take your sex. You know why they mad at y'all? Passport bros, Blue Book gentlemen. One of the reasons they mad at y'all at the end of the day, because y'all not only taking the money out of the country, but you taking them good nuts out of all them orgasms that the women in the United States would have had if you'd have been back home. They are no longer having. You giving them orgasms to other women. Now they got to either sleep with each other or get toys and more toys and more toys and more toys. They got lightsabers. Y'all taking away their sex life. I'm up for real. If you come from a country where a country is addicted to a certain behavior pattern and you take it away from them, that which makes them addicted, they're still addicted. You can't say, oh, well, I'm going to take the drugs out of America. It's still going to be people that still have an addiction there. So it is with hookup culture. We in America are so accustomed to hooking up that to take it away from them and go to another country, or what you guys now, they say over 30% of all men under the age of 30 are not having sex with women in the United States, in a hookup culture country. See, now you could take these dudes and land them in Africa. They're good. You could take those dudes and land them in Colombia. They're good. Parts of Asia, they're good. Why? Because there are certain countries that's not conducive to hooking up immediately anyway. So since the 30% of dudes is not having sex under 30, those dudes, they jail well in certain cultures, but not in the United States. You don't. Why? Women are used to throwing it at you. And notice the more, come on, guys, us players and ex-players, the more coochie you get, the more coochie get thrown at you. That's the rules of the United States. The more they may complain that you cheated on everybody that you ever been with, but they will still toss coochies your way on a regular. On a regular. It's such a hookup culture. What do we do as men when we break up? We done broke up with a female. We've been with her for 5 years. LaWanda done hurt my feelings. It's over. I love LaWanda with her big booty. What do we say in the United States to get over LaWanda and her big booty? Go get another big booty. Go smash 3, 4, 5, 6 other chicks. That's what they tell us as a man, don't they? They don't say, go get counseling, bruh. Go take a knitting class. Go get culinary lessons. No, they say, bruh, here's what you do. I know you sad. I know you hurt. I know you want LaWanda back. What you need to do is go and get your butt out there, smash her girls. Come on now. That would be me. Oh, LaWanda get her. Oh, yeah, that's Dre all day. Oh, that's Dre all day. Thus saith the quote. Thus saith the quote coming from Iman. Yes, sir. That's Dre all day. I'm running through the herd of friends. All the ones that was giving me that glance, they gonna be looking up at me. Oh, yes, they would be looking up at me. Don't be giving me that glance all 5 years when I was with LaWanda, and I ain't with LaWanda no more. Oh, you gonna be looking up at me, baby. Oh, yes, you will. Oh, yes, you will, baby boo. Cause why? Because I was raised and I am part of a hookup culture, no matter what race, color, creed. And that's why it's so hard for many individuals to focus on their spirituality in the United States, whether it be Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Jew, whatever your religion is, because you are raised in a sexually amplified country. We're not the only ones, but what I'm saying is we are part of the ones. So when this sister tried to sit up here, try to criticize brothers, I noticed wasn't no ring on her finger, but I bet you was some dick in her bed. Bet that. I bet you was a big waiting for her in her bed when she got done with that live stream. I bet you she using them lips to give fire skull. She wasn't them sucking from the back type of chicks. And got the audacity to tell passport bros, by the way, when you get to our country, when you came to our country, you know you're going to be throwing that coochie out, right? Somebody should gave her a warning label on when you come to the United States. Oh, by the way, innocent African sister? Yeah, all you innocent Africans, any African sisters, oh, we're all African. Any innocent African sisters here? We're all innocent. Okay, cool. Any of y'all coming to the United States? Yes, we're here to go to the United States. Okay, you. All y'all gonna get tossed up within the first month when y'all get to the States. Me? I'm saving myself for marriage. Yeah, like I said, when you get to the States, ma'am, you two in the back, yeah, y'all getting tossed up too. You look, oh, and y'all got them big African booties and them hips. Yeah, y'all getting tossed up too. Yeah, you over there just hiding. You might as well stand up, girl. They go really toss you up. You wear glasses and you got a big butt. You know, American men love women with glasses. So yeah, you got your glasses on. Stand up, girl. You getting tossed up. You getting tossed up. Y'all twins. Oh, both y'all getting tossed up. And you better hope one American man will toss y'all up at the same time. It's going to be two sisters eating each other coochies. So at the end of the day, yes, y'all getting tossed up when you get to the United States. But it's the land of opportunity. Yes, we're going to give you opportunity. It's the land of military protection. Yes, we will protect you by way of military. Yes, we will. It's the land where you can have your own artillery. Yes, we will teach you how to protect yourself, ladies, with your own artillery. Yes, we will. But we gonna toss that ass up, girl. Don't think us American men and go, come on, cross. I dare you. Soon as you cross either Texas, Florida, New York, you getting tossed up. So don't criticize what men in the United States are doing in other countries when you done brought your good coochie butt. Good African coochie? Brother, I know how good African coochie is. Brother, if you ain't had no African coochie, bruh, if you ain't had no African coochie, I'm talking about from Egypt, Morocco, all the way down to South Africa. Bro, y'all got to get some African coochie in your life. Ooh, I ain't gonna even lie. You know how I know about African coochie? Because I tossed it up. They came over tossing it up. All that inhibitions they treat you, African women, they treat the United States, not all African women, but many and most, once they get to the United States and they don't have to be innocent no more, they're not in their country waiting on a dowry. They're like, wait a minute, ain't nobody gonna pay my daddy $20,000 for this coochie? So ain't nobody in the United States gonna buy this coochie now I'm here? They give that coochie away free 99 plus tax. They give that coochie away free 99 plus tax. Man, I done ran through women, man, that in their own country, they knew better to be having sex the way that they do. They knew better. They knew if they was back home in their home country, they would not be smashing the way that they do. You know in your country you wouldn't be doing DP. Now you all doing D. You nasty girl. You nasty. You got me putting toys in your booty and I'm all up in the front. Girl, you nasty. And you doing it with an accent. You wrong. And then you want to come on YouTube and criticize. And you think us men who are American men don't know what you doing off camera. You cannot tell me that for 4 years or 10 years or whatever she said that she was here, and I know I'm riding this one out, but she cannot tell us for 10 years when she was here that she's been in America that ain't nobody ran through that. A. B. She ain't had no quickie with nobody. C. She ain't backtracked on nobody. You know how women backtrack. Women are like this. They either gonna go for the new dude or the dude from the past. Usually the dude from the past got a chance to get. Dude, how many times have you had a woman from the States call you from out of the blue just because you were the familiar sex? I don't want a relationship with you. I don't want to be with you. I don't even like you. I just want you to come over and beat this up. You cheated on her 5 times, but she's still calling. Like Iman said, he said, once you hit it, you can always hit it. We say that about baby mamas. Why? I didn't say it was right. I didn't say it was fair. I didn't say it made sense. And I didn't say it was godly. But it happens. We are a hookup culture in the United States. You get your happy ass off that plane, females, be ready to fuck. Now, is every woman like that? No. And we know they aren't. There's still some really nice, innocent women. But we're talking about the norm on this channel. We don't talk about the unicorns, and we don't speak anecdotally. We talk about statistical norms on this channel. And normally, if you get off that plane and I catch you in Florida, you ain't going to make it to New York, baby. I'm going to be to toss you up way before them dudes in New York get a hold of you. I'm going to say that again. That was me. Be a foreigner getting off that plane and you land in Tampa. I'm going to toss you up way before you get to New Jersey, way before you get to D.C., way before you get to Bmore. I done already tossed you up 3 or 4 times on your way to New York, Bmore, or D.C. And if I didn't, somebody like me have. Man, you know how many times I done tossed up chicks from other countries that just landed on their way to New York? Please, you come on, shout out. That's right, Twine. Orlando. When I was living in Orlando, man, listen. When I was living in Orlando, you got baby Puerto Rico right there. You got so many Colombian clubs right there. You got others from all over parts of Africa. Bruh, listen, Orlando, mixed girl central. Everybody mixed in Orlando. And they couldn't afford to live in Miami, so they either came up to Orlando or Tampa. And all you Florida boys know what I'm talking about. They either went to Orlando, Tampa. They didn't make it up to Jacksonville as far. We're talking about foreign women. But if you want to get your fix without having to pay Miami prices for a woman, don't worry about it. Because they're going to eventually, once their money starts to get dry, or they're tired of stripping at the strip club and they want a real career, real job, they move to Orlando or move to Tampa. And then get them a white man to move to Lakeland. Shout out to Lakeland. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't make it. Yeah. What? Man, the women that y'all get in New York, we done already tossed them up in Florida. You better believe that. She done already been ran through, bruh. Fresh off the boat, she done been ran through by Florida boys. It don't matter what color, race, color, creed. I don't care if he a Florida boy coming from the Everglades with a straw in his hat and an alligator boots. I don't care if he a Florida boy that owns a mansion in a club. I don't care if he's a Florida boy that works at the college or a Florida boy that's going to college. Florida, if she get off that plane in Florida, she ain't gonna make it a month. She ain't gonna make it what? Man, do you know how many foreign exchange students Florida dudes go through? Man, y'all sleep Florida and Texas. They getting tossed up. Okay, there's a difference between being a Venezuela trying to make it through the river and make it over through Texas. I made it. And the Venezuelans that come directly flying in to Florida. There's a big difference. And she gonna get tossed up. She gonna get tossed up in Texas on her way to Oklahoma. Talking about I'm on my way to California. Yeah, you gonna get tossed up before you get to Cali. Bet that. Where you going to? Phoenix? Let me toss you up real quick before you leave Texas. Man, please, these foreign women they got y'all food. They ain't got me food. See, one thing that taught me about foreign women, Florida. Man, you know how many women I done ran through with broken English? Man, them Florida boys are not to be trusted. Not to be trusted.
Trigger City, let's get it.
Them Tampa boys.
We in Tampa, 813, Trigger City, let's get it.
Don't trust them Florida boys. I'm telling you. You think you got you an innocent Dominican chick. If she didn't come straight to New York and she came through Florida, don't worry about it, bro. We done ran through her already. She is not innocent. No, Florida boys do not let you slide through that state like that. You could be a big girl, but you come from another country and you got a pretty face and you just happen to be big, but you got a small waist. You gonna get tossed up. You too big, girl. You gonna get tossed up in Florida. Sorry, baby. You ain't gonna be able to bring that thickness to Atlanta yet. That thickness ain't gonna make it to Atlanta first. It's gonna be in what? That thickness gonna be tossed up in Florida first before it make it to Atlanta strip clubs. Man, y'all ain't got no virgins that made it to Atlanta. But we done had quite a few virgins that landed in Florida and didn't make it out of Florida as virgins. Hey, y'all, you better ask them Florida boys, man. Ruthless. They style as a juvenile, hang with a gang, banging the meanwhile. I'm telling you, man. Florida boys are not to be trusted. Not to be trusted. He said, all right now, you incriminating a lot of folks. Yes, sir. Truths need to be told. Truths need to be told. Y'all ain't got not one Atlanta foreign girl walked into the strip club if she was a virgin. If she was a foreign girl, she came through Florida. Yeah, she came in Florida before she came through Florida. Believe that. He say ain't no virgins made in Florida. Nope. Made to Florida. For real. No, them innocent ones. I'm so innocent. Look at America. It's amazing. I'm here in Miami, bitches. Oh my God. Man. The Florida dudes will turn them out. I remember It was this one photo that came out a couple years ago about this. It was this one Venezuelan chick. She was just regular jeans, just regular cute, just regular cool. She was a nice looking Venezuelan chick. She was living in Venezuela. Just regular outfit. Bruh, and they had a photo next to her when she made it to the States. All in Lamborghinis. She got the best hairdressers, hair whipped, shab flowing through the air. Completely different. Let them Florida boys get a hold of her. Innocent, you want to be innocent as could be, you could be that in Venezuela. We're just trying to make it here in Venezuela. Come on to Florida. I bet you by the time you make it to your NFL boyfriend, you've been ran through, boo. Them Florida boys are ruthless when it comes to the hookup culture. And so, once again, when the thick-lipped African chick with the big forehead, a lot of forehead to bust on, guys. There's a lot of forehead to bust on. You can just slap it right on the forehead. Just slap your curl activator right on that forehead. I'm telling you guys, for her to sit back and criticize us, stop it, sis. Stop it. We ain't going to do this. We're not going to do this. All that forehead. That forehead so long. Man, her forehead, that's a state by itself. Somebody lied to her as a baby and said, you going to grow into it. Girl, you don't never need to pull your hair back. You should be wearing bangs for life. Like, listen, I'm just cut these bangs right here. I'm just wear bangs from now on. Do not be like Tyra Banks, girl. You cannot pull that off. You don't look like Tyra. Goodness gracious. We know what your skull gonna look like before you pass on. We know what your skull look like. Goodness gracious. You got a lot on your mind. I see you were ahead of the class. Which headquarters do you work for? Goodness gracious. Man, she ain't had to do that to herself. She want to come on here criticizing brothers. Like, girl, really? When you go to our country, you need to do that. Well, when you come to our country, you getting tossed up. And the one thing that we can say, let's be real about the United States. The women that don't get tossed up are the ones that don't nobody want. If there's a woman in the United States and she wants to get tossed up, there is no problem with a woman getting tossed up in the United States. And she know it. Ain't no man, most men are not holding back intimacy from most women in the United States. You know, a woman knows she can get tossed up easily in seconds in the United States because our country is set up like that. Like I said, I didn't say it was fair. I didn't say it was cool. I didn't say it was honest. I didn't say it was godly, but it is what it is right now. It's easy for a woman to get tossed up. What? Please. And you want to be all self-righteous. And even these other YouTubers. I know some married female YouTubers that sit up there and be like, I am better than the rest of those women because I am married. Babe, check it. Unless you was a virgin prior to getting married, 9 times out of 10, your egotistical now married ass was getting tossed up too. And a lot of women that I find in the United States that are on you, come on now, that are on YouTube, that are married, that got those bad attitudes, is because they ain't got over the dudes that was tossing them up prior to getting married. You know what? I'll give you an example. Shawnee O'Neal, Shaq's ex-wife. If you married to a pastor right now, come on, let's go. Let's talk about Shaq's wife. Shall we? Ex-wife. It's been what? 10, 15, 20 years since that man been with her? He busy dating his young girlfriend. Living his life. Ain't said nothing. He ain't said nothing about Shawnee. Shawnee, you supposed to be married to a pastor, right? Focusing on being first lady. Helping people come to the Lord. You could put anything in your memoirs. What do? Oh, and I don't even think I love Shaq anyway. I don't think I just love the idea of the man. I didn't love Shaq. Who asked you that? You could have put anything in your memoirs and you could have left anything out of your memoirs. But because you know that you ain't got over that man named Shaq, and you ain't got the fame that you had when you was Mrs. Shaq, and ain't nobody bowing down to your feet like they did when you was Mrs. Shaq, and you just a regular church woman, and the only people that's dealing with you are the people in that little small church that your husband is running. So now you got little notoriety, but you ain't got that Shaq notoriety, and now you in your feelings. Now you in your feelings. Some dudes in the States have great wives, but their wives are on YouTube talking crazy as therapy. Their wives are on YouTube talking reckless as therapy. I'm going to say something I never said before, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You guys have never seen, and you will never hear Andrea come on YouTube criticizing any form of manhood. You'll never hear my wife come on here talking reckless about men. She'll say, well, Colombian men, they're sometimes they could be machista, but Andrea is diplomatic in what she says. But she never has a title that says, don't date Colombian men. That's not her business. She's married. And she has to represent me just like I have to represent her. You would never see that. Yeah, she's all on basketball wives and everything else. You ain't a basketball wife. You was divorced. How you gonna be a basketball wife and you divorced? And the whole show was all women that were somebody's exes. Yeah, how you gonna have a show called Basketball Wives and all the women were exes? Women in the United States tossed up, even by their husbands or boyfriends, their old husbands or their old boyfriends, feel like they got tossed up. And then when they get with the new dude, the pastors, Megan Good and anyone, then when they get with the new dude that try to treat them like they're innocent women, like the women in Africa probably are, many of them, try to treat them like they ain't been tossed up, Megan Gooden, Shawnee, and other women that have been tossed up, try to treat them like they were not tossed up. These women remind them eventually over time that they haven't gotten over being tossed up. And so they keep using tossed up behavior. Ladies, I got news for you. Just because that you married a pastor, that don't mean that you close to the godliness. That's like me marrying a nun thinking that I'm going to be close to the godliness. Or me marrying a female pastor thinking that I'm more godly because I married a female. No, you still, if you was tossed up prior to marrying that husband, guess what your demeanor is, even though you might not cheat on him? You still got a getting tossed up demeanor. You still got that same mindset. Shawnee, you ain't had no business talking about Shaq. He ain't said nothing about you. Ain't been with that. That's like me sitting up here, and many of us men in this comment section that have been married before, we're sitting up here criticizing ex-wives. Now, let's be real. If this channel was dedicated, or if I ever came out with something talking about I'm against American women, which I'm not. I'm against American women, and my ex-wife was this, and my ex-wife was that. If I did that, then you guys would say, what's wrong with Andre? He ain't get over his ex-wife yet? He got a new wife. Why he tripping on the ex-wives? You don't hear me say that. You know why? Because ex means next. You can't have next without ex. Ex means next. I ain't going back. I ain't gonna talk about you no more. I ain't gonna toss you up no more. I ain't gonna be looking at your photos no more. I ain't dealing with you no more. You're not dealing with me anymore. X means next in line. So for Shawnee to sit back and talk about Shaq like that, like, come on now. Come on. You knew better than that. Last time I checked, nuns, no freaking anyway. Right. She was getting smashed by a thug. And now she getting that pastor love, and she mad because Shaq moved on, living his own life. He ain't missed a beat. That man ain't missed a beat. Yes, he said, I had some lonely years, but I'm good right now. And everybody still loves Shaq more than ever. She didn't break Shaq. That divorce didn't make Shaq fall apart. Shaq is still Shaquille O'Neal. Ain't done. He's still as strong as he was prior to. He said, Dre, stay straight cooking. Support black male media. Yes, sir, guys. Thank you for the super chats and the cash outs, guys. Glad Uriah is here in the building. Seriously. Seriously. And there are women on YouTube right now that are yelling at the top of their lungs how distasteful men are, how horrible men are, how this and that men are, and you are married. You have never heard me say one time as a married man how horrible women are, have you? Do I talk about accountability? Yes. Do I talk about statistics? Yes. Do I talk about the norm, the average? This is just in case you guys want to know my perspective of how I speak when it comes to women in the United States. I speak the statistical norms. I don't speak about outliers. I only talk about what the United States from this position and the statistical position. In other words, what I see and then what stats are saying about the United States. So anytime a woman says, Andre talked about women. No, I didn't. I talked about stats. And those stats were about women and men in the United States. Will you always criticize? I've never criticized women a day in my life. I talked about the stats. Now, if the stats were uncomfortable, you got to take that up with who are part of the stats. If you're a part of that, then you need to work on getting out of that stat and being part in this of this stat over here. But statistically, ladies, 70% of you are obese. That's not criticizing you. We talk about awareness on this channel. That's making you and other men aware. If you stay in the United States, be aware that you got a 70% chance of being with a big chick. If you're in the United States, a woman, you have a percentage that a woman is going to put you on child support along with the 30% of men that's not the father. If you decide to stay in the United States, you have a statistical chance of losing 50% of what you work hard for up on divorce, not including the alimony, not including the child support, and not including the attorney fees on both ends. That's awareness. That's not criticizing. My job is to bring you awareness so you have a choice. Now, do I stay here in my land 'tis of thee? And now Andre has given me over the last few years the stats of what's really taking place, or do I go to another country where statistically I have less of a chance that this type of scenario could take place in my life? That's what I do. But American citizens, we're sensitive than a mother anyway, and nobody can tell us nothing because we're American. We're number one in everything, which is not true. When somebody says it, we think that they're criticizing us instead of giving us awareness. We use sign language. Who are you? Well, your mama was black. All that childishness. That's what we do in the United States. That's what we do. And even foreigners that come to the United States, I see them do the same thing, trying to imitate us. Attitudes, moves, and you be like, dude, the worst thing that you could have did in your life and for your family heritage is to become like us in the United States. It is not the best thing. It's not a good look when you're a foreigner and you come to the United States with a good personality and you take on our traits. We don't even like our traits. We don't even like how loud we are, how rude we are, how selfish we are, how greedy we are. We don't even like it. So for you to come here and glamorize those parts about us that we don't even like, okay.
I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay.
Seriously, shout out to you guys. Make sure that you get your tickets for the Black Manosphere Conclave. Guys, I'll be there speaking. A bunch of other guys will be speaking, having a great great time for 3 days, September 6th through the 8th. Get there, guys. I'm telling you, you're going to be missing out. You're going to be mad. It's going to be in Houston. You know, after the party is going to be the after party. I ain't never been to Houston either, so Dennis Sperling going to be speaking as well. We got a lot of dudes coming through that's going to be doing some speaking. So shout out to you guys that are getting your Black Manosphere Conclave tickets. And if you can't make it, make sure that you get your tickets for the virtual show. Yes, you can watch it online, guys. So if you can't make it that weekend, at least start getting your virtual tickets right now before the prices go up. So you at least be able to watch the show and enjoy your brothers coming together, doing some amazing things. As well as download that Passport Bro app. Make sure that you guys do that. Definitely you want to do that because there's a lot going on with the Passport Bro app that you guys will appreciate.
Hey, Globetrotters! Are you ready to elevate your travel game and make every trip unforgettable? Get ready to revolutionize your adventures with Passport Bros app, your ticket to turning passion into profit. With Passport Bros, your travel videos and posts aren't just memories, they're money makers. Share your awe-inspiring experiences with the world and watch your bank account grow with every click. But wait, there's more. Connect with a vibrant community of fellow explorers, where camaraderie knows no borders. Exchange insider tips, forge lasting friendships, and create memories that last a lifetime. And that's not all. Gain access to exclusive discounts on accommodations, from cozy boutique hotels to luxurious resorts, ensuring you can travel in style without breaking the bank. So why settle for ordinary when you can experience the extraordinary? Join the Passport Bros app today and unlock a world of adventure, connection, and endless possibilities. Download the app now and let the journey of a lifetime begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
Absolutely free. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. Speaking of taking advantage of, giving a shout out to my man Charles in the building. Taking advantage of giving Charles a shout out. Welcome back, Charles. Hope everything's going great with you this week. Hope it's going great with you this week. Let's get back to the video, guys. I don't want to have you guys out here late. Once again, we got our African sister warning us that, hey, you guys want traditional women? You might want to think about whether you are a traditional man when it comes to going to other countries. Let's listen to what she has to say.
If she doesn't want to, she can or she cannot. My position as the man in her life will not change whether she works or not. My position is to provide for her. So my brother, you want to go to Africa to find a wife because they're much more nicer. Let me tell you, they come with the most costly, how do I say this? And this is not like a selling your daughter type of thing. No, the families are not exchanging their children for money and possessions. No, it's simply the man giving to the girl's family in appreciation of receiving a wife. He who finds a wife finds a what? A good thing. Yes. So if you're an American man, because that's all I've seen, and you're used to taking things for free, don't go to Africa. Don't. You will be hunted down like a criminal for stealing someone's daughter. No sense.
Now, posts like this are kind of dangerous in a way. I know where she's going with this. I understand what she's trying to say and everything. But I noticed something in her comment section. Okay, a lot of the women are saying, oh, we have to go to Africa to find husbands. We have to go to Africa to find husbands and so on. And I know it may just be a joke. At the same time, I'm saying this to make like the ladies aware that if you see this kind of videos, it's almost like they are romanticizing and glamorizing this whole idea that African men know what to do. It's not necessarily all African men. There are bad men everywhere. Okay. Some African men will use you if you give them the opportunity, okay? They don't mind, pretending to be this kind of your dream husband, your dream man to get what they want from you, okay? So be vigilant if you want to embark on this journey, because there's a lot of stories of women who went to Gambia to find the love of their lives, ending up being unalived. So let me put this disclaimer in there. Not all African men are good guys. Most of them know what they're supposed to do, okay, but they are not there financially yet, so they don't mind using any woman who gives them the opportunity to use them to acquire what they are supposed to acquire in order for them to become the men in other women's lives. If it makes
Let's pause it for a second right there. She's absolutely correct, because there are a lot of times when we've heard these situations where there are women that go down to Africa and have been deleted. A lot of sisters. There are women that go down to Africa just to use men take their money down there and just use men instead of looking for a husband. They just want to use men as boy toys. There are a lot of instances in Africa where individuals get scammed. Shout out to my Nigerian brothers for being famous for the Nigerian scam, the Nigerian prince. At the end of the day, do wake up to the fact that, ladies, go ahead, scamper your butt down into Africa. I've heard so many incidences where African dudes will be on their cell phones right here. They'll be talking on their cell phones in their native tongue to all of their girlfriends while their American wife is sitting right next to them, because the American wife doesn't know anything, and that African brother knows about 6 different languages. So at the end of the day, this woman sitting back talking about the African man, he does the amazing things. He's so this, that, and this. The other sister at least came along with the truth, saying, yeah, there are a lot of good African men, but there's a lot of men that you need to look out for. A lot of men you need to look out for. At least she's telling the truth. My man Chris says, she's speaking truth. The dowry is traditional. However, South Africa is one of the countries that don't practice the dowry for light-skinned women. There we go. Back to the video.
makes sense, okay? So that's the disclaimer, okay? But a lot of people did respond to his video about going to Africa, and I'm going to play a few of the responses, and I'm going to come back and talk some more. So let's get into that.
Men in the United States are used to taking things for free, especially from women. They expect, well, I'm just gonna go date her, have sex with her here and there, and use her, and then we'll just be in a relationship. It does not work like that in Africa.
This mentality that you have of 50-50 is not going to work with an.
Before she goes into her comment regarding 50-50, I want to say this as well. Just like other countries don't like when we go to their country and look oddly up on their traditions and their cultures and what they do and their customs. Who the hell are these foreigners to come to our country and look down on how we do things? In our country, we do this, that. Cool. You're correct, sister. But you have no right to say it in a way that you're putting down how we do things in the United States. Women in our country give up the cookie. Sorry. No dowry included. Women in your country might not give up the coochie, and a dude had to give 100 cows for some coochie. We understand that. But for you not to understand or to belittle how we as men and women in the United States handle our version of relationships, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you to disrespect how our country does things if you all don't like how we may say something about your country? Let's go back to the video now.
An African woman, especially a traditional African woman that was raised in Africa. We are raised and taught that men should be providers, 100%. That means if we go on a date, guess who's paying? The man. If we need to do our hair, guess who's paying? The man. Even if that lady is a doctor, that man is still technically responsible for the finances of your home. And let me not even get started when it comes to lobola. Lobola is dowry. You are going to have to pay an amount. It could be 1,000, it could be 2,000, could be $3,000, euros, whatever currency you use. you are going to have to pay that girl's family just to have the honor of having her be your wife. Some of our fathers are still in lobola debt 20 years after marrying our mothers. So if you really want an African woman, my guy, please change this mentality of 50-50, 50-50. It's not going to work for you.
To all African Americans.
Let's pause right there for a split second. This woman made the statement of, it's not going to work for you. Just not. It doesn't need to work for us. We don't have a dowry system in the United States. We don't have that in the United States, so we don't have to worry about if it's going to work for us or not. However, I see what their points are if you plan on going to parts of Africa. I said the word parts of Africa on purpose because Africa is 54 countries, not states, 54 United States. Let's put it like that. 54 countries. They are not all the same. That's why I say the parts that you might go to. Not all of Africa. These women are speaking with a broad brush. They're making it seem A, all of Africa is alike. B, all women in Africa, or all men, let's go with B, all men in Africa have no problem on a continent of paying the dowry and getting the woman. C, that most of the women in Africa are worth the dowry. I'll say this again. No, not all women are worth the dowry in Africa. And we've already did the survey. Would you pay a dowry for most women in the United States? And most of you said no, zero. I would pay zero dowry for women in the United States. This is not a put down, but it's just saying that it's not a part of our culture that we're accustomed to. I'll say this again, ladies, before you want to cut this part up. It is not a put down towards you ladies. I'm just exposing something that is not a part of our tradition when it comes to dating and marriage and relationships in the United States. So no, we're not going to get comfortable with something that's not. Anton was right. We should not get comfortable with part of something that's not a part of who we are. And that's why many of us go to countries that we don't need to have a dowry, whether it be in countries in Africa or whether it be in countries that are outside of Africa. We're not accustomed to dowries. Some African brothers can go to other countries and yes, they have no problem with paying the dowry. Why? Because that's what they were doing. Us as American males, we don't go to African countries, not because y'all can't afford the dowry. Boo, when y'all gonna get off of that? Passport bros are not poor men. I don't know why y'all get this idea that we all run around just broke, penny pinching. If we want to get that woman, we get that woman. Dowry is just not a part of our tradition. It's not a part of our tradition. Well, I've seen some of you brothers. Yes, some of us brothers. I'm talking about on this channel, we talk about the norm. The normal brother that lands in Africa is not traditionally accustomed to paying a dowry. Even though some brothers may come there and have no problem paying it in Africa or parts of Asia. But this trying to shame brothers, this is a shame that you're trying to shame. And like we said, lastly, the quality of sister that guys are putting up dowries for, bet this. I bet you if you talk to 100 African descent brothers and ask them, what is the quality or the behavior or the type of women that you guys normally put a dowry down for? I need some brothers from this part of the country, the continent, to tell us, some brothers from that part of the continent, some brothers from Northern, some brothers from Western Africa. I want to hear what each one of you from different regions have to say when it comes to the dowry. If it's in your country, what are the qualifications of the woman that you are paying that dowry for? Because like she did, like this woman just said, her dad is still in dowry debt 20 years later after marrying her mom. dad is still paying the family on that dowry. In other words, it was $20,000. Dad probably put $3,000 down, married mom, and been paying off for 20 years. As an American man, I don't know what coochie I'm willing to pay for 20 years. And then we in America, in a country where it's 51% divorce. So even if I divorce your daughter, I still owe you. Now I got child support, alimony, court costs, attorney fees, child support, and I got to pay on a dowry for a woman I'm not even with anymore. Okay.
I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay.
Okay. American men like, nah, that fruit ain't worth the squeeze. That juice ain't worth the squeeze. And that's what we're trying to let you ladies know, that from Africa and from other parts of the world. Y'all scratching y'all heads like, why is it so problem? Why is it a problem for men to pay dowries? It's not. If we had your quality women, ladies in Africa, ladies in Asia, many men haven't had a problem with paying the dowry. Many men will go to Africa, find their wives, or go to Asia, find their wives, pay the dowry, and have been happy as can be. But that quality of woman was worth the investment. Bring a dowry to the United States. You think marriages are low in the United States now? Go ahead, bring dowry to the United States to where a dude had to pay $40,000, $50,000 to marry Irma, to marry Bernice, to marry Gwendolyn. You telling me that white dude's gonna pay $20,000 to marry Gwendolyn so Betty can get married? Shawanaka. You paying $20,000 for Shawanaka? The same Shawanaka that's been throwing that coochie around got 3 kids. You paying a dowry to that father. That same LaWanda that got her career, she Miss AKA all that. She was tossing it up in college like fruit salad. She give the firest head. And you expect this man to pay $20,000 for something with a coochie that's been blew out. He need to tie a 2x4 to the back to his back to keep from falling into her coochie while he in it. You expect these dudes to pay a dowry in the United States for women that like to do it so good that they got 3 boyfriends that are stalkers. So I'm supposed to marry a woman that got 3 stalkers and 1 baby daddy in jail that's still in love with her. And I'm paying a dowry?
Stone me if you must, but point out where I lie. Stone me if you must, but point out where I lie.
Uriah said it best. You don't pay new car prices for a used lemon. Not a used car, a used lemon. Chitty chitty bang bangs. Chitty chitty bang bang women. You want to criticize us men to try to convince us about a dowry? We ain't got no problem with dowry, boo. If we go to Africa, okay, cool. We ain't got no problem with the dowry. What woman? This is the funny part. I want to hear the woman in Africa complain about us coming to Africa and not want to pay a dowry. I'm hearing all American African women talk. You notice this? This whole video is about women that of African descent, but they're in the United States. I ain't heard now one woman in Africa tell us, well, you know, American men, they cheap. No, American men are traditional. Remember, I started this off by talking about, are we traditional? And I want to say this. We are traditional. of our traditions, not yours. And our tradition says no matter what country we go to as Americans, we are not paying a mother dowry. So if I don't marry you or if I don't want you, it ain't because I'm cheap, but it's because my tradition says you out your rabbit mind. If you think I'm gonna give your dad $40,000-$50,000 just so I can eat your coochie, it ain't gonna happen, boo. That coochie gonna dry up before you know what I can do with that 50,000? I could flip that 50,000 in the next 5 years, but I'm giving it to your daddy so he can flip it. I'm giving your daddy cows and goats and sheep and land and a new house when I could have gave that to my damn self or to my son or to my daughter from my first baby mama. And I'm giving it to this grown man for some coochie? No, boo, African sisters. No, hell no. You got your traditions. We respect your traditions. Yes, we do, boo. We really do. But you got to respect ours. And our tradition is just like Anton. Hell to the no. Are we going to sit up there and pay for something that's not a part of our tradition? So who's the man in the relationship? Are you or are we? Because if you're going to follow us as the men, American men don't have the tradition of dowry. So if you're going to F with us, do realize we ain't paying your daddy a damn dime. And that's why we don't pay. Not because we don't have the money, but because we don't have the tradition, baby. We don't have that tradition. You can keep talking all you want. And realize, we're here in Africa, baby. I'm coming to Africa. I'm going to marry you. I'm going to take you out of this raggedy motherfucker anyway. We ain't staying here, boo. So whatever country we go to, that's our new tradition. So stop talking to me like I'm going to stay in Africa for L. Or if I do stay in Africa, I might not stay in that country. I might say, listen, Laquanda, we move into this part of Africa. So that part of Africa is going to be where our family traditions are, not this part. So stop trying to criticize me about this part, because me and my boo ain't gonna be living in this part. The traditions we need to make sure we stay a part of is the ones that we're moving to, not where we are. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that makes as much sense as you coming from Africa with traditions, but then taking on American traditions. In other words, you all of a sudden start throwing that coochie out there when you wasn't doing like that when you was in Africa. And suddenly it's easy to let go of traditions when you got your legs swinging up in the air. It's easy for y'all to let y'all inhibitions and traditions go. It's amazing how when y'all in Africa, you talk about traditions, traits, and history, and how years went by in culture. And women were groomed to be this and that. Got you. We understand. And all that tradition get thrown out the window as soon as you get to the United States, because I'm busting you down and 5 other my boys busting you down in the state of Florida before you even make it to New York. Who do you think you're talking to? For real, who do you think you're talking to? But you want to tell us about holding strong to traditions in Africa when you don't hold on to African traditions when you get to the United States, do you? Oh, you might hold on to a few recipes. I'm talking about traditions, cultural norms. No, you didn't. Did you normally throw that coochie up in the air to everybody that you saw in Africa? Oh, no. Why are you doing it in the States? All these are Americanized women that are talking on this video. Let's get back to this video, because we got another one.
American men that asked whether or not they can find themselves good wives in Africa, you know. Yes, 100% you can find yourselves good wives in Africa. I'm sure you can find yourself a good wife anywhere in the world. But if you're moving to Africa, 100%, I can tell you now that Africa has of the most beautiful women, of the most kindest, understanding women, 100%. But here's a tip, right? When you do come to South Africa or you come to Africa, the 50-50 thing that you guys do that side, leave it there. Leave it there. Please understand that the feminist movement, our ability to participate in it is very limited due to our traditions and our culture, you know. So culture and traditions supersede any participation in any movement, the feminist movement being one of it. So it's probably not a bad idea to leave that 50-50 in the States, because you'll also see that there's a video that I did of a gentleman that had asked whether or not Africans like African American men. And if you go to the post, you will read that a lot of women said no due to the fact that they do not want to do 50-50. Now, this does not mean that we do not have good women. It just means that at the end of the day, culture is important, you know. And as women, we do understand that we need to be supportive, understanding, loving, and caring towards our husbands, you know, and we will do that. We also understand that we need to work together towards a common goal, just to make the marriage work. And we will work, and we will help, and we will support. But the 50-50 thing is not a prerequisite for the relationship. I'm just letting you know. And if there's an African man or a man that tells you that we do 50-50 in Africa, unamanga, they are lying to you. Do not listen to them. I'm telling you now, they are lying to you. And I'm sure there's a lot of women that can back me on this. The 50-50 thing, it's not an African thing. Tradition will always supersede everything else. I'm just letting you all know. I'm just, you know, you guys asked me for advice. I'm giving you advice. This is a tip from me to you so that you can come and you can get yourself good wives. Now, I wouldn't want you to miss out on an opportunity to meet a good wife just because now you have asked her to split the tip or split the bill for a date that you asked her on. Now she needs to pay for her food. No, guys, no. No, no, don't do that. You know, you might just miss out on a really good wife. So don't say that Samantha didn't tell me. I did. I'm telling you all now. Do not ask an African woman for 50-50. And if any other African man or men have told you that, it's a lie. It's a lie.
African American.
Okay, before we go into the next sister, I can understand where this sister's coming from. She's just coming with the heads up. Heads up, guys. This is how it is in most of Africa. Like I said, we're talking about 54 countries. This is how it is in most of Africa. If any other dude try to con you and make you feel like that it shouldn't be like that, it's not like that. She said, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the hookup. This is how we were raised. If you don't, I like how she did it in the sense of, listen, here's the cool part about it. You don't want to deal with feminism? We don't either. Not on that level. But since we ain't dealing with that feminism mess, do expect us to be traditional women. And that's why I asked this question, because when her segment came up, it made me ask, yes, a lot of us do want traditional men. You want to come down, traditional women. A lot of us dudes want traditional women. You want to come down to Colombia or Brazil and you want to have a traditional girlfriend or several traditional girls on your roster. But are you a traditional dude when it comes to paying them bills, protecting those ladies, even if you got to protect them from themselves, as well as being a problem solver? I don't see a lot of dudes that do that. I'm be honest. I don't see a lot of us that are of passport movement. I didn't say most, but I don't see like the masses of us being the type of dude like that dude. You know what? He seemed like a problem solver. I think I could see that brother. I could ask that brother for some advice about something. He looks like a brother got a little bit of wisdom about him. Most dudes with a passport, we don't look at them like they got some damn wisdom in their head. They can't keep from getting drugged in Colombia. They ain't got enough sense not to use a dating app. You think I'm gonna look at you for wisdom? You ain't even got enough sense in your brain to leave a dating app alone that's getting people deleted? I can't see your problem solving skills, player. Number 2, protection. If you can't protect you from scammer chicks in other countries, how you gonna protect women from getting scammed in life? We're not just talking about fisticuff protection or artillery protection. There's also the ability to protect a woman and a family from impending dangers economically, socially. Babe, you may not want to have her as a friend. She's a backbiter. Babe, you may not want to invest in this because I saw that this stock is dropping down, but it's going to go back up. You know how to protect your woman's money? I'm going to say this again. Do you know how to spend your woman's money or protect your woman's money? Like the story I told earlier with the pastor. A lot of dudes can't do that. They don't know how to protect. They don't know how to protect them dams. You can't protect your own damn money. So you know you can't protect your wives or your girlfriend from her overspending or doing something foolish with her money. Man, that's her money. She earned it, dog. It's just, like I said, modern dudes. You was raised by your mama. You a modern dude. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But you are not traditional. So when you come to these other countries and you expect the traditional women and then they shun you or they don't want to deal with you, like the sister was saying, a lot of African women will not deal with you because you're not coming with traditionalism, but you're expecting them to come with traditional coochie. In other words, everybody ain't had it. Everybody ain't been down her throat. Everybody ain't bust on her back. You expect her to be traditional when it comes to cooking, cleaning, supporting, sex, sandwiches, and silence. You're looking for all that tradition, but then when it comes to you, it ain't a dang thing about you that's problem solving. Ain't nothing about you that says you can help her protect her from herself. Ain't nothing about you that says that you are a provider. Some of us are in the habit of 50-50. I know I used to be one of them 50-50 dudes. She pay her portion, I pay my portion. That's what the economy is like. Instead of putting us in a position to where my money's paid for the bills and her money's went directly into our investment accounts. I wish I'd have thought of, dude, I was married 14 years in the States. Even though the marriage didn't work out, I would not have had a problem with splitting 14 years of her paychecks going into investments. I wouldn't have had no problem with the judge saying, y'all got to split that 50-50. I would have had no problem with that. We would have set it up to where it wouldn't have been one over the other. We would have made sure that in some type of agreement that was in writing that this money is just as much mine as it is hers. She would have just had the only access to it in one name. But 14 years of all of her paychecks going into an investment account and my checks paying all the bills, I think I could have did that. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I think I could have rolled with that. If when the marriage didn't work out, I had a big chunk of money coming and she had a big chunk of money coming. If I was thinking traditionally, but I wasn't. I was a modern man, 50-50 everything other than dates. I'll say that again. We was doing that on trips. I pay for the trips. She paid for everything else during the trip other than the souvenirs and all the little things that we want. But she paid for everything else on the trips. But I paid for the trips. So the flight tickets, the hotel rooms, the everything else, the SIM cards and all the things that we needed for the trip, I paid for. But once we got on the trip, all the dinners, all the, oh, look at this expensive purse or this suit, she paid for all that stuff. When if I had enough sense in my head, being a traditional man and not a modern man, I would have been paying for all that stuff while her money is flipping. Or we could have even did it like this. I'll split your check into this account that's in my name, and this is in your name in your account. Same investments. But you got half of your checks is going to go into this account, half of your check is going to go into that account, and all of my check is going to be our expenses at the same time, all of our allowance that we give each other every week. So I'm going to make sure you always have money in your pocket, baby. I'm going to always make sure I got money in my pocket. I'm going to make sure all the bills are paid with our check. But your paycheck is going to take care of us no matter what happened when we get old or unless we break up. I could have dealt with that. Some of you brothers would have said, no, I can't deal with that. I would have. If after 14 years, I would have had all that money waiting on me and she would have had a bunch of money waiting on her, I could have did that. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, she would have, but the laws would have, or the judge would have. You all see, that's America. We used to fears. We're scared of everything. Name one thing we ain't scared of in the United States as a norm. I want to hear from you exception dudes. I ain't scared of nothing. Name one thing as a norm in the United States we ain't scared of. We scared of aliens. We scared of the food. We scared of the water. We scared of the politicians. We scared of the military. We scared of this. We scared of that. We scared of racism. We scared of every. We've been programmed to be scared of every. It's nothing in the United States that you can't trust these little kids. They crazy. We scared of everything. We scared to send our kids to school. We scared that something gonna happen to this. Everything. We've been programmed to be fearful as a mass about everything. But what if I lose my job? What if my business fails? What if it's not my son? Instead of checking into things or putting yourself in a position to where statistically you are protected, we would rather live in fears. And we've been programmed, and like one brother said, the propaganda we see or use, they use against us to make us afraid in the States. You can't name one thing that we're not scared. Name one thing. From mad cows to chicken diseases. Name what was something we ain't scared of. They told us to be scared of in the States. We don't like the e-cars, the electronic vehicles that drive by themselves because I can't trust it. We're scared of that. What if it run me into a tree? But we don't like the emissions that's destroying and bringing up pollution from gasoline vehicles. Name one thing. We are so afraid we're turning over the box of cereal to look at the ingredients because we're scared of what they now putting in the ingredients of some cereal. And rightfully so. We should be cautious, but we're afraid of everything. So when I just made that statement about I could have did that for 14 years, let her put her money into investments for both of us and then split that money at the end, I could have did that easily. I could have did that, but I was a modern man. I thought as a modern man. That's what my point in my story is. And some of you brothers are just like I was. I'm not saying that how I thought was wrong. I'm just saying that it was different because now that I'm a traditional dude and I believe in hypergamy and I believe in me busting my butt and she taking her monies and put it into investments, I'm with that. I have no problem with that now. I have no problem with that. We know Colombians don't make no money like that anyway, so no use to be fussing anyway. If you got you a woman in Thailand and she's a doctor, she ain't balling like that compared to you just a regular dude in the States. Your woman as a doctor in Thailand does not make the amount of money that you do as a regular dude. So we know we go to these most countries that they can't afford to like 50-50. It's more like 90-10. More like 90-10. So definitely, guys, I kid you not, we're going to get back to the video. But you got to ask yourselves, that's why I'm reiterating this throughout the video. We have to ask ourselves, are we traditional men or are we truly modern 50-50 dudes? Nothing wrong with it, but if you're going to leave out the country, at least know what you are. To thyself be true. Here's another sister that's from Africa. I think she's either still there or in the States, but you'll like her story.
Please go watch the full video of that creator. I watched it with my jaw wide open because I overstand that video. Being that I'm also West African first generation, my parents came here in the 80s from West Africa, from Sierra Leone, and I do speak the language. So it was very traditional in my household. And my current husband's from the Caribbean, from Jamaica. Baby, when I say they gave him a hard time, my God, they gave him a hard time being with me because, you know, we were young college students, didn't really have no money. My parents were like, he doesn't have the resources to take care of you. I had to fight tooth and nail to be with my current husband that I am today. My mom, there was this one joke she made, to this day lives in my mind rent free, but she's true to her words today because, you know, my husband stepped up. But he used to work at a bakery when we were in college. And my mom said, Nabila, you were the one who is rolling the dough, not making the dough. From that day, I was like, yo. When I say they had to chew them words up, they don't say nothing now because he provides and he does everything that he needs to do for me. I do have the option of working or not. Working helps because this economy is incredibly expensive. You know, he's not rich and balling out of control. You know what I mean? Because my parents wanted me to marry wealthy. That's just, you know, that's tradition. You know, my husband didn't have to pay a dowry for me. I was the rebel of the family. Me la rebel, okay? I ran off to go be. I did everything that was non-traditional, even down to how I got married. I eloped. I'm across the country. What my parents gonna do? I was scared, but everyone knew I was pretty much a renegade and very non-traditional in how I do things. But yeah, what she's saying is incredibly true. You know, I'm thankful for the man that I have today, but just trust me, it was no easy feat. We grew together to the fact that I was just telling him the other day, I was like, Daddy, we've been together 11 years, bro. A bunch of wild and crazy college students. But if you ever ask him, he'll tell you like, yeah, her parents didn't give me not even the slightest grace. They were so difficult. It's now we're at a decent relationship where they're like, okay, he's doing well for himself. He's taking care of our daughter. We're good. We're at peace. But baby, difficult. Sister not tell one lie at all, not tell her one lie at all. Wait, come on, I'm marriage side day. Jesus Christ of all the Nazareth. It's no easy feat. Marry an African woman, even here in this America, this one, no easy. It's not easy at all. My house, it was so crazy. Like even in my home, it was like little Africa. I couldn't even speak English at home. Like I could, obviously, but my mom made sure that we learned the language and instilled the traditions. It was hardcore in my house. But make a long story short, rant done. Please go check that creators video because it could not be more true, more honest. Yeah, that 50-50 thing, that's a very United States thing. Outside, going to Africa, oh, they not going for none of that. No. What did Hall & Oates say? Oh, I can't go for that. No can do.
To find a wife.
Let me tell y'all something. This is so true. Everything that she's saying is accurate. And I would know because my husband is Nigerian, in case you don't know. Hi. But yeah, those African ladies, they don't play no games. You have to go through their families first to even and get permission from their families to even marry them. And then there's a criteria. Depending on the tribe, some tribes you have to pay. You have to pay to marry the bride. And it ain't cheap. When y'all be thinking, oh, American women is wanting too much, just that and the third, baby, good luck. And not just African cultures, there are other cultures as well that does the same exact thing. You have to pay their families to marry them. So more of the story, y'all men need to get on y'all ish. Y'all need to be natural providers, point blank, period. Okay, thank you.
Let me be specific because Africa is a continent, not a country. There are various countries and various cultures, traditions, and laws, and it differs from country to country, tribe to tribe, and so on and so forth. Okay. Yeah, most men were raised to be the heads of the family. Okay, so they know that. And if you do find yourself a man in Africa who is doing well, my dear, you're going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy marriage, okay? I'm talking about you're going to have a driver, you're going to have a help, you're going to have people taking care of your kids, you're going to have a chef, and so on and so forth. You will be taken care of because they know what you're supposed to do. They also have other traits like multiple wives is normal, okay? Having multiple girlfriends is normal. So being cheated on is normal, okay? So I don't want people to come here and think, oh, African men are no, they are not. Okay, they are not. I'm not saying that all of them cheat. Some of them they stick to one wife, one man. Yeah, most of them do that, but most of them cheat too. Okay, just like American men do. So let's not get anything twisted. Yeah, I've seen people who's.
Let's pause this for a second. She said that, yes, you're going to be treated well. You have a cook, ladies. You're going to have a chef, ladies. You're going to have a chauffeur, someone to help with the children. And you're going to have a shopping expense with the right man in Africa. But you cannot take that tradition of I'm the only coochie he will ever have in a lifetime to Africa. I'll say this again. It's amazing how no matter how much money you make here in the United States or there, I keep forgetting I'm not in the States sometimes, there in the United States, you could be Shaq and your woman gonna leave you because you was cheating. But then when you go to all these other countries, leaving you for being with another woman is the last dang thing on their mind. Are you providing? Yeah. The kids' stomachs full? Yes. You sure you got them in private school here? Yes. Don't bring home no diseases. Don't bring home no new kids. We good. We good. That's how most countries are. Now, do you have a few jealous women out there that say that they good, but then they cause trouble as wives? Well, I thought I was gonna be good with it, but I don't want you to be with another woman. Yeah, that's around the world. But at the end of the day, in all sincerity, I found that the same sisters that cry to us in the United States, no matter how much money we make, and they come down on us for having a side chick, will go straight to Jamaica and will not tell them Jamaican brothers, you can't have nobody else. Go straight to Africa and will not tell those African brothers, you can't have nobody else. Will come straight down to Colombia and get smashed and will not tell these Colombian brothers or Brazilian brothers, you can't have nobody else. And these dudes don't be having half the money we got. Some of them do, most of them don't. And them dudes still be having side wives, side girlfriends, side families with no comment. As long as you don't bring any kids our way or diseases and you take care of the household, you good. That's traditional in many countries. Not in the United States. United States is modern. I want you for me. You can't share that D with nobody else. I wish you would. I'm divorcing you because you cheated. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You telling me you're gonna leave our marriage for 20 years because I went and got some more coochie? When the rest of the world ain't got no problem with it? Yeah, that's the difference between the United States and other countries. All these women, once again, as I mentioned in this video, it's amazing how they talk about Africa, mighty, mighty Africa, and they don't live in Africa. This here America, like she said. They got all they want to tell us, warn us about. Hey, you American men, y'all need to stay right where y'all are because y'all can't afford African women and women in Southeast Asia. As if Africa is the only continent or Asia is the only continent in the world. We are men with passports. What the hell are you talking about? We can be wherever the hell we want. Hate to put it out there like that to you. You got your traditions, we got ours. Your tradition says if we land in Africa, we might not have to, but might have to pay a dowry. Cool. We understand. We landed in parts of Africa. They said dowry. Got you. But I'm American. I don't pay no dowry. Damn a dowry. I'm out. Y'all can keep y'all country. I got a passport. I'm about to go to a country where I don't have to pay a dowry for a good woman. As a passport bro, there is no such thing as scarcity. There's no such thing as the baddest bee that you'd ever had. I'm going to say this again, some of you dudes. There's no such thing as the baddest chick that you'd ever had. No coolest chick that you ever had that you can't live without. You're crazy. And I'm going to end with that. Do realize these ladies are westernized at the end of the day, and only one of them was married. The last one. Let's get ready to head up out of here with the new break. Shout out to my man Timothy Bright. Hope you guys enjoy this new break. I will see you guys on Wednesday.
Perfect.
Fine.